Good morning and happy Thursday. It's a very beautiful day outside, and honestly, the perfect day to talk about what I want to talk about. I mean, I was kind of on the fence about talking about today's video topic, but considering that, actually, let me give my low behind my facts first. Let's see. My low is I got to see my folks again. I haven't really been seeing them much lately, so I got to see them again, as well as a few other really important people. That was really nice. My high was, it was a very beautiful day outside, much like today. Oh, did I just say my low is I saw my parents again? I'm sorry. My low was, I really was busy from like 10 a.m. to around like noon, or not noon, like 2 o'clock. Just not busy, but like, I mean, you guys know me, I value promise, and there was somewhere I needed to be at like 2 o'clock. So, I mean, I was there in time, maybe plenty of time, but again, it's a me thing, is what it boils down to. Let's see, my high is I got to see my folks yesterday, as well as kind of, let's not be in a rush, I saw my therapist yesterday, but yeah, it's fine. And my act of kindness was I held the door for some people, and actually I was going to Sam's Club to get myself some dinner, and some guy needed 2 shopping carts. And I need a shopping cart as well, so I got to the shopping cart area first, gave the guy his 2 shopping carts, and then I got mine. So, prioritize others. That's what I did. So, I kind of alluded to this on Tuesday, but we have 1 week until Superman is released in theaters. Yeah, I know technically it's July 11th, and that's technically 8 days, but let's be real here. Movies are always released on that Thursday night, and, that's why I would say it's a week from now, Superman will be released in theaters. And it fills me with both, it makes me cautiously optimistic. And to explain why, I need to go into my personal history with the character of Superman. Full stop. I love the character of Superman. I mean, most people I see that don't like Superman are the people that say the same thing. He's just kind of bland. He's just an archetype. He is Superman. He can do virtually anything almost, it feels like. I mean, obviously you can't do everything, but basically it feels like, he's like the instant win button for the Justice League. Stuff like that. And while I can't deny some of those things are true, you can't deny that you really wouldn't get a lot of archetypes without Superman. You wouldn't have any other superheroes without Superman. I mean, fun fact, Superman's original design was based on Douglas Fairbanks, the original action hero from like way back in the early 1900s or something. So, needless to say, I mean, nowadays it really does feel as if, actually, nowadays when stuff is being made by fans for the fans, it's really cool when, like, a character is played by the actor that they're based off of. The most classic example of that is Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury in the MCU. So, yeah, you wouldn't have anything like that without Superman. But I guess that's a little too vague. My first introduction to Superman, however, because fun fact, I never saw any of the Richard Donner films, one with Christopher Reeves. I mean, I didn't have the patience to watch anything live action. I honestly like cartoons and stuff. But it was my father who told me, my brother and I, about, several DC heroes, but he was a Batman Superman fan. And he always was, always will be. And so I like Batman too, but we're not talking about Batman right now. So, growing up, I saw Superman the animated series. Back then I was too young to appreciate it for what it is, but every now and again I'll go back and watch some of it. And listen, kudos to Bruce, Tim, and the good people at Warner Brothers Animation. That show still holds up greatly. And it's one of the best iterations of Superman I think we've ever gotten. Shout out to Tim Daly. And then George Newbern for playing him in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. I never saw the show Smallville, but I heard it was really popular, and I do, every now and again, even though I didn't see Smallville, I'll see that one scene that every now and again will pop up on my feed from Legends of Tomorrow, where Lex Luthor is played by John Cryer, is going throughout the multiverse and goes to the universe where Smallville takes place, and he runs into that version of Superman, and he gets out his kryptonite. It doesn't affect this guy because he gave up his powers, so therefore kryptonite doesn't hurt him anymore. And basically that Superman punches Lex Luthor. That was actually kind of funny. It was. It's you took all the fun out of it. Don't worry. You'll all meet your end soon enough. I really like that scene. I might actually watch that scene again after I'm done recording this video. Let's see. I know that one Superman Lois Lane show, I never got around to watching, but I heard it was really good. I have seen Superman in some of the DC direct-to-video movies. Batman, Superman, Public Enemies, Batman, Superman, Apocalypse. Let's see what else. Throne of Atlantis was pretty good. Superman, Shazam, saw him in that one, even though it's really about more of Shazam, but Superman is only in there because it's Superman. Who once again was voiced by George. Oh, Superman versus the Elite, that was good too. Superman versus the Elite. Seriously, both Tim Daly and George Newbern are two of my favorite iterations of Superman. But because they were voiceover, even though Tim Daly is an on-screen actor, actually they're both on-screen actors. Let's be honest, most people would know them for being the voice of Superman, and they don't really quite get the recognition they deserve for it, at least that I've seen. Justice League Doom, that was a great iteration of Superman. That Superman was voiced by Tim Daly. If you've been watching my videos at all, you probably know I love the show My Adventures with Superman. I think that's a great show. I can't wait for season 3 to come out. Actually, I said this after I talked about Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man earlier this year. But growing up, 3 of the biggest comic book shows ever: Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, Spider-Man the Animated Series. And now, 3 of the biggest cartoons to hit anywhere, including streaming: My Adventures with Superman, Batman Caped Crusader, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. It really does feel as if I'm a kid again. If you're a comic book fan in general, this is a time to feel really happy right now. Especially given that not only are we getting Superman next week, but later this month we're getting Fantastic Four First Steps, which I hope is good. I may do a video like this about Fantastic Four at a later time. Anyway. So I guess with how much love and respect I have for Superman, you can imagine that I too was in that mass exodus of fans when Man of Steel came out. And here's the thing. To this day, I remember, like, I had just graduated from college. It really looked like summer of 2013 was going to be filled with great movies, like Iron Man 3. Like, Iron Man 3 pretty much kicked off summer of 2013. So I'm like, yes, let's go. We're going to have some fun. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great summer. I remember thinking about going to see Man of Steel, and I forget why, but I never saw it in the theaters. And then I saw like a whole bunch of reviews. It became one of the most divisive films I had seen or heard of. I didn't see it, but I heard of since probably Phantom Menace. I mean, Phantom Menace definitely is more beloved now than it was back then. I mean, it sells haters to be sure. But given what we know now, you know, and enough time has passed, like, yeah, Phantom Menace, definitely more beloved than it used to be. Man of Steel, however, I mean, listen, I once made a video about this, but I'll be happy to share it again. Believe it or not, it was actually watching South Park, of all things, that made me firmly believe that the DCEU was going to be bad. Let me explain. If you've ever been a fan of South Park, then you probably have heard of Trey Parker and Matt Stone's commentary minis. I mean, normally when like the people behind the scenes of a show do commentary, it's always, you know, throughout the entirety of that episode. But Trey Parker and Matt Stone, being the absolute giga-chads that they are, they don't really have much to say. They made the product. Well, what more is there to talk about? So their commentary minis are like maybe over 2 minutes long. And they're talking about the episode where they were clearly making fun of 300, the Lesbos episode. And they're talking about, man, we saw 300. You know, we didn't really think it was as great as it was, which is sad because we love the director's first movie, Dawn of the Dead. I mean, we made fun of it. They made fun of Dawn of the Dead too, from the homeless episode. That was making fun of Dawn of the Dead. And here's the thing. Does it seem rather arbitrary that two guys were making fun of Zack Snyder, the director of 300 and, you know, Dawn of the Dead? Does it really seem arbitrary that two guys made fun of Zack Snyder? Well, I wouldn't say made fun of him, but they thought his second film was underwhelming. Most people would say yes to that, but this is Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Like, there's a reason why South Park has been going on since like 1995 or something, with their 27th season coming out this July. Like, not only do they know comedy, they also know writing and story. Yeah, I know, South Park, highly inappropriate show. If it's not your thing, I totally get it. But Trey Parker and Matt Stone are two guys where I wouldn't say I would actively listen to them without question, but I will always take the time to hear what they have to say and judge what they say to my own accord. So after that commentary mini, when Man of Steel was coming out and it said that Zack Snyder was directing, I immediately got nervous. And looking back on it, my nerves were correct. I mean, aside from the fact that Zack Snyder really was known more of a style over substance kind of a person, it was being produced by Christopher Nolan, who was clearly still riding the high off of The Dark Knight, which, let's be real here, guys, Dark Knight, really not as great as you might think it is. Yeah, see, I was already like over it when The Dark Knight came out. People thought Dark Knight Rises. No, it was The Dark Knight. I mean, yes, Heath Ledger's performance was legendary. We know this. But, come on. How do you sneak into a hospital and put in a whole bunch of explosives with no one knowing? Not to mention, you really are just going in Joker makeup on and everything. No. I'm sorry, but I was completely disillusioned by it. But, yeah. Between The Dark Knight being not as completely overrated, and Trey Parker and Matt Stone's knowledge, I had a right to be nervous about Man of Steel. And after Man of Steel, things got worse from there. I mean, I knew Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice was going to be bad, but I was one of the few people that, thought Ben Affleck was going to be a good Batman. I thought, Wonder Woman was, Gal Gadot was going to be great as Wonder Woman. I thought Jeremy Irons was going to be great as Alfred. And those three actors were the best part of that movie. Although, the same, unfortunately, cannot be said for Henry Cavill, who was Superman. Which, unfortunately, I feel bad for, because Henry Cavill is a likable actor. I've seen him in really good stuff, like The Man from U.N.C.L.E., that was great. But unfortunately, because of the legacy of Man of Steel and how the DCEU was built on a pretty weak foundation, it does kind of give that sort of Twilight legacy, where you're in a series of bad movies and there's not much you can do to recover from that. I mean, that's not to say the DCEU didn't have good movies. I mean, Wonder Woman was good. Shazam was good. The first Aquaman movie was good. It had some good stuff. It's just, again, you can't build a house without a good foundation. It was very evident that they were trying to, play catch-up with Marvel. And unfortunately, Superman, being Man of Steel, was at the forefront. So needless to say, given what Superman has recently been through in terms of being on the silver screen, because I know the first two Richard Donner movies are really good, but then they got really bad. Superman needs to have a W in terms of being on the silver screen. And given what I've seen from the trailers, the actors, and not to mention James Gunn is directing, I can't help but be filled once again with cautious optimism. Because, given what James Gunn has done with, the Suicide Squad, not to mention the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, there really won't be, you can hardly think of anyone who could do it just as good, if not better. You could probably make cases for some, probably like Joss Whedon maybe. But for the most part, James Gunn would be the one person who would get it. Which is why I'm really hoping this works out. Not just for, James Gunn's career, not for the actors' careers in the movie, I'm sorry, except for Nicholas Hoult. I can't remember who else is in it. Oh, and Nathan Fillion is a Guy Gardner. That's really cool. Fun fact, a lot of people want Nathan Fillion to be Hal Jordan Green Lantern, but he's Guy Gardner. I'll take it. Sure, why not? Actually, come to think of it, Nathan Fillion is in a lot of James Gunn productions. Now, what can I say? Nathan Fillion's awesome and James Gunn is awesome. What can I say? Not to mention, again, Superman needs this to be good. I think we all need Superman to be good right now. Think about it. Superman is the highest selling comic of all time. It actually used to be Superman, then Batman, then, believe it or not, One Piece. One Piece just recently surpassed Batman, so now it's Superman and One Piece. So, yeah. I personally can't wait to see what happens. A week from now, I'm going to be seeing, actually, a week from tomorrow, I'll be seeing the 10 a.m. showing, I think it was 10 a.m. I'm pretty sure Superman's going to be premiering at 10 a.m. next Friday. That's the show I'm going to go see. I'll have no choice but to get up early and tell you all how it is. Again, I am cautiously optimistic. And just because I love the character of Superman, I am really hoping this is good. I really am. I mean, fun fact, I went as Superman for Halloween in 4th grade. That should tell you how much of a fan I am. Oh, well. Perhaps at some point, listen, if James Gunn is going to be hounding the DCU, I think we have a right to be a little happy about that. Although, for those of you wondering, because listen, James Gunn directed Guardians of the Galaxy, obviously has close ties with Marvel and Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige was actually asked, what are you going to do when James Gunn's Superman comes out? I'm going to be the first in line to see it. That's actually really cool. Like, for all intents and purposes, James Gunn left Marvel to work on DC. Yet, the friendship between him and Kevin Feige is still as strong as ever. Like, Kevin Feige is going to go see Superman out of showing support for his friend. That's the sort of thing we need to see, ladies and gentlemen. Just saying. Hope you like this video. Like, subscribe to YouTube channel, on social media. As always, I'm very helping this video for you guys watching Joe video. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thursday. And remember, if you guys want to talk to everyone, we're here to let me always be back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.